Hey y'all, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew the live video was gonna start and I was gonna be doing something else. So, hello everyone, happy Monday, and welcome to our Monday Moments. Da-da-da. I don't know if this is gonna be a thing, but I thought of it, and alas, here we are. So I'm trying to not put pressure on myself and saying that it's going to be a weekly Monday thing, but hopefully it will be, and we'll see how it goes. Anywho, so the title of today's Monday moment is Release to Refresh. So I don't know who of y'all are still on Twitter. If anyone's still on Twitter, I'm not. But I do remember that there's a feature on there, and I had to double check. I had to like go into my Twitter and double check that it's still there, and it is. But there's like a feature on there where if you're like trying to get new tweets on your feed or whatever, you know how you scroll all the way up to the top and then you can scroll down and then you'll see new tweets pop up. I don't know if anyone pays attention to this, but when you're holding on to it, it actually says on the top, release to refresh. And of course, me being the cheesy person that I am, I had to make that into like a life thing, hence release to refresh. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has thought about this. I'm not claiming to be some trailblazer, some innovative thinker, or anything like that. But I did think of it. I actually think it was mentioned to me in something motivational that I was watching or talking to someone about. But anyway, release, refresh. It's basically how I'm transferring it in my life is basically by saying, in order to get more for your life, in order to move forward in your life, in order to follow the dreams that you have for your life, in order to really hustle and grow and find fulfillment in life, it oftentimes takes letting go and releasing things, thoughts, people, whatever that's in your past and or present. So let's start with thoughts, right? So in order to even think that you can actually, in order to invest and think that you can actually create change in your life and follow the goals and dreams that you have for your life, it takes letting go of those thoughts that hold you back. It takes letting go of those fears that oftentimes hold you back. And that can be thoughts that say you can't do it, you're not good enough, it's not worth it, you're not worth it. It can be fear of what's on the other side of that journey. It can be a fear of failure, even a fear of success, which is a very real thing. Being afraid of what happens when I feel like I succeeded. You know, what happens after that? What is after that? It can be that addiction to the struggle in the journey. There's so many things that can mentally keep us from moving forward with our lives. And thoughts like that will always be a crutch, or will always cripple you from being able to reach your full potential. The second thing that one needs to release in order to refresh and revive their lives, I would say, is definitely the behaviors. What are you actually doing to create change in your life? What patterns are you releasing? What patterns are you letting go of? What patterns are you introducing that will benefit you and give you the extra boost that you need to go after your goals? And a lot of those behaviors seem so small, right? A lot of those behaviors just became so regular in our lives, right? And that can be, you know, it's Friday and it's after work and you're like, I'm gonna treat myself, you know. But how often does treating yourself on Friday night turn into an all-out pig and binge fest on Saturday, and then a wine and cheese day on Sunday, and then a hangover food Monday. Like, how often does that pattern need to continue in our lives before we say enough, I'm done with this? Because it takes, number one, mentally realizing that change needs to happen, right? And then number two, actively creating that change. And it starts with releasing some of those old patterns. It starts with saying, I'm done, enough. I need to stop this behavior because it is not helping me get to where I want to be. If you really think about where you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, do you really want to be in the same place? I'm guessing most of us, if not all of us, would say, nah, bruh. Like, no, I don't want to be at the same place where I'm at right now. I don't want to have the same struggles. I don't want to have the same fears. I don't want to have the same frustrations. I don't want to have the same mental blockages, blocks and fears and all of that. I want new. I want better. I want better for myself, right? And it takes that behavioral change. It takes stopping that pattern that oftentimes becomes so automatic. We don't even think about it anymore. Lastly, because I don't want this to be too long, lastly is releasing relationships. Now, I understand that this can be very tricky and a hot button, and I don't mean that you necessarily are cutting people off from your life all willy-nilly, right? I'm not necessarily saying that. What I'm saying is maybe for a little bit, you need to loosen those ties. You can't see my hands. Loosen those ties so that you can take the time to focus on yourself and take the time to do what needs to happen for yourself. Because at the end of the day, your goals and your dreams are your goals and your dreams, and you have to be the one that's working towards it. You have to be the one that's putting in the work, and you have to have people behind you that are supporting you, that understand, and that are okay when you say, no, I can't hang out with you. No, I can't spend money on this. No, I can't eat that, because it's not where it's going to be. And the thing about it is, this is like just stream of consciousness, guys. The thing about it is changing those things and releasing those behaviors and thought patterns and relationships can be just for a short period of time. I'm not talking about forever, you know, I'm talking about for a little bit, just for a little bit, just by saying, okay, I need a break right now. I need something different in my life right now. And that's okay. And understanding that it doesn't have to be forever. If it ends up being forever, that's okay. You won't be in a place where it will bother you so much, because you've got to focus on yourself. So many people, especially as women, I think especially, we put so much stock into taking care of other people, and we have the best advice for our friends and our loved ones for how they need to take care of themselves, how it would be better for them to do XYZ for themselves. You know, we're really great at the self-care coaching, right? But for ourselves, we completely forget about it. And we are definitely our worst patients in that way, and our worst advice givers, recipients in that way. And that's okay, because we're all on this journey. We're all figuring out how to better our lives and grow and fight like hell for our dreams. So yeah, before I go into a crazy rant now, because I'm getting all like passionate about this, because this is for myself too, right? I just wanted to share with you a couple of ideas and thoughts that I had about just some of the things that can be the foundation and the building blocks for creating change in our lives, in order to be refreshed and revived and renewed and fulfilled and growing and motivated and inspired and whatever, in order to find happiness and wealth and fruition and growth, it takes releasing so many things that hold us back. It takes saying no. It takes releasing those fears, releasing those thoughts. It takes all of that, and the behavior change and the behavior patterns, and the releasing of friendships and relationships for a moment, maybe, to focus on ourselves and to really push so that we're not stuck in the same place 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Yeah, so anyway, that's all I have to say for this Monday moment. Have a wonderful evening, friends, and I will talk to you later. Oh, now I'll post about it. Quick sidebar, I am hosting a wellness group that will start tomorrow. It's a free group. You don't need to pay for anything, but I am hosting a group where we'll be focused on kind of what I was talking about, a lot of wellness tips, sharing tips and ideas and inspiration and what keeps us motivated. And I'm talking about eating healthier, I'm talking about detoxing, I'm talking about mental health, and how that plays a role in our goals. So stay tuned for information about that. If you have any questions or interested in that, you can go ahead and comment below in the comments, or send me a message, but also putting up a post, you can comment on that. Don't forget, if you're not following me on Instagram, it's The Balanced Lady on Instagram. Also on my YouTube channel, it's The Balanced Lady. My public page is The Balanced Lady, so you should see that everywhere if you follow any of my social media. Thank you so much. I love you all. Happy Monday.